This particular place I call Spopikimi, the Turtle Waters. It's otherwise known as the Elizabeth Hall Wetlands. This place has been part of my beaver bundle training. As a person that takes care of a beaver bundle, I'm called a Iachkimi, which means I belong to the water. And the beaver bundle is representative of the treaty that's made between human beings and animals very, very early on here, and the relationships that we have with those animals. In Blackfoot kind of evolutionary theory, human beings are the newest arrival on the scene. We're like children, and we kind of have to learn how to fit in. So a big part of the beaver bundle's responsibility, the Iachkimik's responsibility, is to be paying attention to the ecology, to learn Blackfoot ecology and Blackfoot phenology, the seasonal behaviors of plants and animals, and to be aware of what's going on all the time. We have these two public ceremonies, one at the end of winter and one at the end of summer. We invite a lot of people to the ceremony, and as part of it, we feed them. Our elder told us there's 4 things that I want you to feed people: buffalo tongues, pemmican, Saskatoon berry soup, and eggs. And he said, you're going to have to go out and buy your bison. But I don't want you going to the store to buy berries and eggs. I don't want you going to see the Hutterites. You don't need to be getting chicken eggs, because the source is still here. Unlike the bison, the berries and the eggs are still here. The ducks are still here. We never went out to try to collect waterfowl eggs. We had no idea how to do it. So the first year, what we thought was we should just be able to come out to a place like this and look for birds that are sitting on nests. The geese here, they nest on islands. And she got off her nest, and I took 2 eggs out of 7 that were there. And we took those home, and very quickly found out that if a bird is sitting on a nest, it's too late to get eggs. So we kind of failed that year. So we weren't able, we had to use chicken eggs that year. The next year rolled around, and we thought, well, we got to try this again differently. We just watched the birds, and we were trying to figure out when they're going to start laying their eggs. And as it turns out, the geese lay about 1 egg a day, and they don't sit on them until they have a full clutch. And so there's a little narrow window of opportunity. For the geese, it's only about a week long. For the ducks, you have a couple of weeks. And if you take eggs during that window, well, number one, they're viable eggs, and people are going to want to eat. And number 2, they can replenish them. They'll replenish them till they got that full clutch, and then they'll sit on them. So you're not having an impact on them. Blackfoot territory itself in the language is referred to as Gitawaksin, which means it's the place that feeds us. So the food relationship is very important. And the eggs and the birds taught us that through the bundle. As we were out here, we saw, all these other birds migrating in, and we watched the whole drama of that summer go on. I mean, every time I come out here and spend a few hours, I learn something new. I've gotten to know hundreds of species out here, and all the little nooks and crannies of this place, individual bird couples that I can recognize year in and year out. We're concerned about sustainability of our lifestyle. How are we going to live long term here, right? Because the way that we're going right now, it's not going to happen. Something's going to have to change. I kind of get the sense, like crows and magpies, the animals that normally live around people and have forever. I get the feeling they're kind of waiting for us to to pay attention, but just be human again. A lot of times when I'm walking out here, a magpie will call to me. They give a triple call, and there's a certain call that he'll give, and I'll know that he's telling me there's something there that as a human I should be interested in, and he's gonna be interested too because he gets what I leave behind. So they're waiting for us to be human beings again. The language is still here, the ceremonies are still here, and they've never left. They've never stopped. I'm not the only young person involved in ceremony by far. There's a lot. It's constantly being transferred on to the next generations.